Hello and welcome to all you Pisceans. This is your monthly horoscope for February of 2021. And for some of you who have a birthday at the end of the month, happy birthday, dear Pisceans. What's going on? Two big things. Saturn, Uranus square, and on the other hand, a whole bunch of planets, including a Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. That's like the biggest things that are happening. Let's start with all this Aquarian energy. And that is in your house, which is the Piscean 12th house. There is like a traffic jam happening there. I talked about Jupiter and Saturn entering that house last month in January. But now it's more than that. It's a new moon that is happening there on the 11th of February, some sort of a new beginning, but together with Venus there, together with the Mercury there, and also going backwards. It's like at a certain moment, it's, I believe, 6 planets in your 12th house. I say that's your cup of tea because it's the Piscean house. It's the house of the unconscious, it's the house of the subconscious, it's the house where we rest, it's the house where it has a lot of power. It is said that when people make decisions, that they think they make decisions maybe on a logical level or maybe even a balance between their logic and their feelings, but it is said that we choose a lot out of the unconscious because of the unconscious desires and that's so Piscean people, or people with an emphasis on the planet of on the sign of Pisces, they understand this. They understand that the drive for actions and choices to make is sometimes invisible, not visible. It's from deep unconscious patterns, and having so much energy there shows that you're going to feel in your element. You're going to because Saturn is there, you won't go over the top. Sometimes you can go over the top. You just go into escape world, which is also the 12th house, by the way. It's the house of escape. It's the house of, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get drunk and not do and just no responsibilities at all anymore. It's not going to be like that because you've got Saturn there. Remember, Saturn being in its joy in the 12th house, making a bit of structure there. But as I said, it's also benefics entering that house with the Venus, with Jupiter there. So you could be having really interesting dreams coming up and intuition coming up and leading you the way for your life path. It could really be on a level that you feel that you are supported by something that you really don't see, that is not tangible. The Mercury going backwards and forwards, as from the 31st of January up until the 22nd of February, indicates also that your mind will not be on the detail, it will not be on the nitty-gritty, but your mind will be on these almost psychic energies. So a lot of psychic energy there for sure, but you are reassessing it as well with the Mercury retrograde. The only thing that, of course, it's a Mercury retrograde after all. Sometimes in the 12th house you could lose Mercury kind of things like keys or whatnot, or so these things, it can be a bit confusing at times, but again, I think with the Saturn there as well, it's going to be okay. So lots of emotional, deep kind of healing energy during the month of February, and that's nice. So you need that every now and then. It's also the house of to reload your batteries by just being with you, just being alone, but in a good way. A lot of Pisceans need that, but definitely you're gonna need that with so much energy in the 12th house. So prepare your children, your spouses, your boyfriend, girlfriends, that you're gonna need some me time. Because it's needed, to get back towards your own energy. And during actually the whole month of February. Now, the other thing that is important is the clash between Saturn and Uranus. There are going to be 3 clashes in June, at the end of December, and one starting now on the 17th of February, the first clash between Saturn at 7 degrees of Aquarius in that 12th house of yours, what I just talked about, squaring up to Uranus in Aquarius at 7 degrees, not Aquarius, at Taurus, 7 degrees in your 3rd house, the house of thinking, the house of communication, the house of your environment, learning, teaching, all these things. Now, what does it mean? Uranus is about, I want my freedom, I want to break free. Saturn is, I don't. I just want to stay where I am. So that's the clash. Actually, Uranus is further away. So Uranus is winning, for sure. We have a whole year here to implement something new, which is Uranus. Uranus wants something new. It wants to break free. But with the clash of Saturn, it just takes time. It takes more time. It's done with cautiousness. And if you're doing that, that's the best way to implement it. That's how the universe is kind of dictating it, you could say. And so it depends. People tend, when this clash happens between these 2 planets, people tend to pick a planet where they feel most comfortable with. So in other words, let's say you're a go-getter Piscean, right? A go-getter in that way that you kind of push things. If you want them, you go get them, right? It's not because you're a Piscean that you're going to be a bit, you know, they always say Piscean energy is very yin energy. It is true, but you're not just all Piscean. You could have a moon in Aries, for instance, and be really having that go-getter mentality as well. But if you are a go-getter, you will pick the Uranus energy. You will go towards that Uranus, that implementing that something new that has to do with your 3rd house. So there could be new communication, new learning, new teaching, learning, traveling, maybe making a new website, new connections in the neighborhood, a new attitude towards your siblings. And maybe if you are that go-getter mentality, you want to go, 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 go. You want to have done it tomorrow. Then my advice is slow down. Hold your horses a little bit. Because Saturn is demanding a bit of do it cautious, don't rush it too hard. The same if you are a more Saturnal kind of Piscean that is a bit afraid of changes, that is not liking to get out of the comfort zone, then I would advise don't resist those changes that are happening. Again, with siblings or in the environment, or wanting to, maybe your boss at work is demanding from you to learn a new skill and you're resisting it. Don't do that. Don't do that. But don't say fully, yeah, okay, go on. Just do it step by step, day by day. And you're going to really get a lot back at the end of the year when ultimately you've done it. So it really depends on your temperament, and but these are general horoscopes. But that is these clashes, and these clashes of Saturn and Uranus, a lot of astrologers will talk about it. It's mostly important for the fixed sign. You're not a fixed sign, so don't let yourself, you know, go crazy with all these predictions, and which are very general. And I hope you realize that. But I think for you, it's in an area. Uranus is knocking on your door when it comes to your mind. Basically, that's the biggest thing. Your mind needs to be put upside down, so to speak. And it can be simply meaning that Uranus is saying the way that you think, it's too rigid here. That's basically it. It's too rigid. You need to turn it around. You need to loosen up, or you need to change the way you think at the moment. Let's say, for instance, you're a very controlling kind of Pisces. Maybe you've got your I don't know, maybe you've got your Pisces rising and the sun in Scorpio. So a very controlling personality. Then this energy can demand of you to be a bit more loosening up a little bit more going with the flow instead of wanting to control everything. That is a totally different mindset, isn't it? But that's what Uranus is trying to do. So a change of mindset, a change of how you do your practicalities, how you do your life on a practical day-to-day. It can really shift there. What you've always thought was true is not true anymore, and vice versa. That can also change because the way that you are doing things on a mental level, it's really a mental house, the third house. So make sure that it's positive. Make sure that it's a positive mindset that you have, that the glass is half full and not half empty. Maybe simply that you need to learn how to not to stop think negatively. I mean, we all do it. We all, but it's a lot of courage that is demanded there as well. It could also mean, like with Uranus in the third house, learning a new skill, like learning how to drive, learning how a new language or something, and you're a bit afraid of it. I would say do it step by step. So not a bad month at all for your day. It's 11/11. Oh, you kind of like that, don't you, Pisceans? I just saw it, you know, 11/11. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and all the best to you, dear Pisceans. Bye bye.